Have you ever thought about the secret of how you can mesmerize people even when you're not trying? This investigation opens the gates to the mysterious realm of the chosen few, the people who are extraordinary simply because they are themselves. In the world of mythology and spirituality, these people are both prized and feared for their mysterious aura and unique qualities. Many believe that the chosen ones have been touched by a celestial force, but their path is one of deep isolation and confusion. When we look at their surroundings, we can see how their strong spirit coexists with the inevitable isolation it brings. The intensity of their presence is the main cause of the chosen's immersion into solitude. The place takes on a new electric aura as soon as they set foot in it. No words are needed to captivate the audience. When the chosen ones are around, their almost supernatural energy changes not only the space they are in, but also the nature of the interaction, infusing every connection with a certain intensity. With its seductive and commanding presence, this energy attracts those around them while promising sincerity and depth. Yet as they approach, they encounter an immaterial force, an essence that resonates with the primal majesty of the cosmos. This overwhelming intensity triggers emotional reactions ranging from admiration to discomfort, shaking the people who encounter it to their core. With knowledge passed down through generations and the power of many stories, the chosen ones radiate an aura that cannot be hidden or extinguished. It guides and warns like a beacon through the troubled seas of human contact. People feel an innate attraction to the source, but are unable to deal with the emotional flood it triggers. The company of a chosen one not only sheds light, it permeates all levels of being and awakens latent fears and desires. Such far-reaching effects are a testament to the power of the chosen one, a reflection of their unique character and the burden they carry, leaving others feeling vulnerable and seeking solace in the mundane and insignificant. As people are confronted with the revelations that the company of the chosen one brings, this withdrawal takes on a spiritual and emotional depth that goes beyond the physical. Both the uncertainty and the sudden upheaval caused by confrontation with someone whose nature mirrors the dark abysses of other people's souls trigger growing fear. This involuntary contemplation leads to an automatic retreat, as it is strong enough to reveal vulnerabilities and fears. Witnesses to the incredible aura of the chosen one often report feeling weak and discouraged when confronted with such a powerful presence. This is not a calculated display of dominance, but the natural unfolding of one's being, a light so intense that it can drive the chosen one into seclusion, no matter how many people are around. Ultimately, it is paradoxical that the chosen one's extraordinary gift for making connections and bringing about change causes them to be alone. As a result, the chosen one walks a lonely path, marked by the footsteps of those who were afraid to approach. Even if they shine brightly, the beauty of their existence often shows us the path that few want to take. As for the second case, the innate inclination of the elect towards the sanctity of solitude or the limited company of a select circle where their essence can be truly appreciated and understood is the source of their reclusive journey. Such a conscious decision is not based on an aversion to large gatherings, but on an awareness of the disharmony that often arises in such situations. The private resonances of the chosen one, in tune with ancestral wisdom and cosmic whispers, are lost in the deafening din of the crowd. The common exchange of pleasantries scatters their sacred truths. When they are alone or in small groups, they can let their true selves shine through without feeling pressured to change for the sake of acceptance. A significant gap in vibrational frequencies is the cause of the discomfort and isolation felt in crowded public spaces. In large gatherings, superficial exchanges predominate, but the chosen ones operate at a level that strives for depth, honesty, and genuine connection. When people are not emotionally prepared for such deep connections, attempting to build genuine relationships in such environments is met with confusion and discomfort. The chosen individuals are aware of this disconnect and see the increasing obstacles that surround them, and their efforts to make a connection that goes beyond the superficial are greeted with a polite smile that masks the hidden discomfort. This seclusion transcends geographical separation and forms a protective barrier around their essence. Their spiritual path remains pure, and their life force is preserved by this choice. They know that their impact is most effective where it can be fully appreciated and respected. Therefore, the chosen ones use their discernment to make their way through society and seek out places and people that match their vibration, whether in the solitude of a voluntary retreat or in the community of other chosen ones. There they feel understood, valued, and above all recognized for who they really are, and can share their deep insights with others and radiate their light. The third factor that causes the chosen few to feel alone in the midst of the crowd is the complicated mixture of awe and terror they will inevitably inspire in others around them. This duality spins a complex web of social interactions around them. This duality reflects the reaction of the human mind to the unusual, and is not simply a reaction. The chosen one is a contradiction. A light whose brilliance attracts and captivates, a mirror whose reflection reveals and disturbs. Their attractive presence is the result of their magnetic charisma, which is both strong and respectable. They radiate an essence and authenticity that transcend superficial charms. This depth attracts people because it represents an invisible connection that promises a deep entanglement and understanding that lies at the heart of human longing. But as they approach it, they encounter the true nature of the chosen one, a power so great that it threatens to destroy the dreams that many people rely on to keep them afloat. When they encounter the chosen one, who reflects their true nature unfiltered, they are overcome with an overwhelming sense of fear. They are afraid of being recognized for who they really are, of seeing their innermost thoughts and feelings, and being confronted with the shadow side of their personality that they have tried so hard to hide. This strong and innate fear often overwhelms the initial attraction and leads to seeking comfort in the familiar, where one can avoid the intricacies of such a profound connection. This dichotomy leads to a web of social interactions where the chosen one is both admired and feared, making him or her an enigmatic figure who is both desired and shunned. The chosen one quickly learns that the depth of connection she desires and offers is too great for most people to tolerate, leading to an imposed and self-imposed loneliness that comes with such a conflicted existence. Thus, they embark on a solitary journey, driven not by desire, but by need, as they maneuver through a world fascinated by its allure, but terrified by the reality it reveals. Forging real bonds is a formidable obstacle, which brings us to our fourth point about the lonely path of the elect. The incredible depth and vitality that make up their lives are the causes of this struggle, not a lack of desire for friendship. The chosen are inherently powerful beings whose spirits carry echoes of ancient knowledge and universal truths that transcend the mundane. In their search for genuine relationships, they long for mirrors that can reflect this intensity, for spirits who are not afraid to embrace the fire within them, but rather welcome it and want to share the warmth and light they provide. But such connections are unique, just like the chosen ones. Lack of availability is not a coincidence, but the result of their extraordinary qualities, such as vitality, authenticity, and depth. Interacting with a chosen one on their level requires courage, openness, and the determination to explore the unknown territories of one's being, just like an explorer setting out on an expedition. Despite the initial appeal, many people find the journey too daunting to embark on. The Chosen One does shine a light on what needs to be seen, but the pervasive presence of the Chosen One also reveals people's hidden sides, causing them to seek solace in superficial relationships. Because of this difficulty in finding loving relationships, the Chosen Ones must walk a fine line between seeking strong bonds and the isolation that their intensity often requires. This seclusion is both sanctuary and prison, calming the mind amidst global confusion and allowing the loneliness of unspoken depths to resound. Guardians with an essence so profound that few can understand it, let alone comprehend it, the Chosen take on the role of guardians of a sacred isolation. The beauty of their journey, however, lies in overcoming this barrier. When these rare connections are made, they are beautiful. They arise from the depth and understanding that both parties recognize, and they weather the storms of life with a strength that is both unique and uncommon. In a cosmos often considered too shallow to contain its immeasurable depths, these few but meaningful bonds serve as guideposts to the Chosen Ones, showing them that there are spirits willing to dive into the depths with them and embrace the intensity of their being in all its awesome majesty. The fifth reason, which follows the isolated path of the chosen few, is inextricably linked to the realm of spiritual struggle, where invisible battles rage with consequences beyond our common sense. This battle is not fought with crude weapons, but with the higher powers of honesty, sincerity, and truth that are inherent in the chosen few. When they are near, they not only occupy the space, but transform it through spiritual alchemy, turning lies into truth and shadow into light. While this transformation shows the path to truth to those who seek it, it also undermines the foundation of deception. People who cross the path of the chosen are shown their true selves, both outwardly and inwardly, through their sincerity. The discrepancies between our real selves and our invented personalities are exposed in this introspection, revealing the masks that many people wear. Such disclosure is unsettling because it brings to light parts of a person's identity that they have laboriously hidden from other people and from themselves. As a defense mechanism against the danger to their own creation, people react to this revelation with either avoidance or, in extreme cases, confrontation. Because their nature challenges the current status quo and demands authenticity in a society that often accepts the superficial, this spiritual struggle remains a constant in the lives of the chosen ones. Protected by their unshakable convictions and their deep and undeniable understanding of their purpose, they transform themselves into ignorant warriors of truth. However, the chosen suffer greatly in this struggle, for they are often alone on the battlefield and misunderstood by the same people who seek to free them from their masks. Their essence has the effect of destroying the illusions that sustain a life without authenticity, and the resistance and difficulties they encounter are not just reactions to their aura. Thus, the chosen move in a world where authenticity is both a blessing and a curse. They are not fighting for supremacy, but for the liberation of the human soul from the shackles of deception. Their spiritual conflict is as old as time itself. From the conflicting social norms and expectations arises the sixth factor that sends the chosen ones on a path away from collectivity. Sometimes it is these unique beings who create their own universes, and their beliefs and goals are so different from the norm. This difference is not an inclination, but a deep need that comes from an innate need to live an honest and genuine life. The chosen ones are inherently against the prevailing culture as they tend to question and surpass the mundane. They don't have much support for their long-held beliefs and passions in typical social settings when conversations are devalued. If you're looking for something of substance to feed your spirit, you won't find it in the meaningless, fleeting conversations of everyday life. When the chosen ones are forced to squeeze their larger selves into the narrow confines of societal expectations, they feel an almost physical discomfort. This incongruity is not only conceptual, but tangible and palpable. It is like trying to squeeze a gigantic creature into a small house. The discomfort and lack of perfect congruence remain, no matter how adaptable the Colossus is. Because of these incongruities, the chosen often seek solace in isolation or in the company of a small circle of like-minded people who can see through the facade of societal norms. In these places, people can be themselves without worrying about what others might think of them. Philosophical contemplation, spiritual exploration, and the relentless pursuit of truth are food for the soul in these spheres where deep conversations thrive and sincerity is valued. For those who feel the same dissonance but are afraid to venture into the unknown, the chosen few show the way by living in harmony with their inner truths, even if it goes against the grain of popular opinion. Their presence is proof that authenticity is powerful. It reminds us that the key to true acceptance is staying true to your inner universe, not conforming to the outside world. A strong call to a higher calling is the seventh factor that explains why the elect prefer to be alone and avoid large gatherings. A strong echo reverberates within them, drawing them towards a destiny that transcends the boundaries of everyday existence. This call is no mere whisper. The burden of the soul's mission rests heavily on their shoulders, and they must dedicate themselves wholeheartedly to introspection, meditation, and the constant development of their particular skills and knowledge if they are to succeed. As an essential part of their being that must not be neglected or undervalued, this calling to a great destiny is as necessary as breathing. Large gatherings and worldly chatter can seem pointless and even contradictory to their great purpose in the face of such a lofty goal. Their time and energy would be better spent on their missions if they did not waste it on things that have nothing to do with their fundamental purpose. When the chosen are pressured to limit their scope of action in order to fulfill minimal societal expectations, they feel an almost physical discomfort that goes beyond the intellectual and into the visceral. It's like forcing a titan to shrink to fit into a small playroom. Congruence will never be enough, and discomfort is inevitable, no matter how much the giant tends to conform. The chosen ones, who are confronted with this incongruity, often seek refuge in seclusion or in the company of a small group that has also looked behind the facade of social norms. There they can develop and express themselves freely without any disturbances or misunderstandings. In these areas, sincerity is highly valued. Discussions go deep, and the soul is nourished by a multitude of spiritual questions, philosophical musings, and the relentless pursuit of truth. And by wholeheartedly accepting that they are different from societal expectations, the chosen ones demonstrate the courage to live in alignment with their inner truth and serve as an inspiration to others who feel the same dichotomy but are afraid to venture into the unknown. They have learned the hard way that true acceptance comes from listening to your inner universe rather than trying to conform to society. Their story is a powerful reminder of the importance of staying true to yourself. In the face of such a sacred goal, the chaos of large gatherings and the trivialities of daily interaction not only seem unimportant, but also contradict their own destiny. Participating in activities or discussions that do not align with their true purpose is a waste of energy and time that could be better spent achieving their goals. Since the chosen few feel an almost physical dissonance when forced to conform their immense selves to society's restricted norms, this incompatibility goes beyond the purely intellectual and reaches a deeply sensitive, visceral level. A good analogy would be asking a titan to shrink himself to fit into a small house. No matter how willingly the giant adapts, the fit will never be flawless, and the pain will remain. This discrepancy causes the chosen one to seek solace in seclusion or in the company of an exclusive group of people who have also looked beneath the surface of societal norms. In these environments, they can explore and express their whole selves without worrying about what others might think of them. Philosophical contemplation, spiritual exploration, and the relentless search for truth nourish the spirit in these worlds where conversation is deeply stimulating and authenticity is valued. By wholeheartedly rejecting societal expectations, the chosen few demonstrate the courage to live in alignment with their own values and serve as an example to those who see a similar difference but are afraid to venture into the unknown. They are a reminder that true belonging is not about bending to the will of others, but about honoring the cosmos. For this reason, the chosen ones keep walking, even when they are alone, because they know that every step is a cosmic dance, a fabric woven from the threads of their unique identity. They find a deep connection to themselves, to the divine, and to the rare, brave souls who have chosen to share their journey when they are alone. Whether we belong to this group or not, we can all learn from the Odyssey of the Chosen. We must stay true to ourselves, value our individuality, and persevere in the face of adversity by walking our own paths, even if they lead us alone. For it is in solitude that we find the true friend of the soul and our path to the stars that will determine our destiny.